everyone, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to today's session. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine and amazingly well, taking good care of yourselves and your loved ones. सत श्री अकाल, नमस्कार, बॉन्जोर, आदाब, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका आज के सेशन में, जहाँ पे हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं द मोस्ट आस्क्ड एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस ऑफ आवर चैप्टर क्लाइमेट, जिसे समझने में वैसे ही हमें थोड़ी बहुत जो है कंफ्यूजन होती है, दिक्कत होती है, तो आज उसको कर लेंगे सॉर्ट। ठीक है, देख लेंगे कि कैसे आंसर कर सकते हैं हम इस चैप्टर के पूछे गए क्वेश्चंस को। सो लेट मी क्विकली इंट्रोड्यूस माई सेल्फ। हाई आशिका, गुड इवनिंग बच्चे, वेलकम टू द सेशंस। So, Bache, my name is Ankana and I am your expert for social sciences at Embibe. I also specialize in English because I have done my education in the field of humanities. And I have been associated with the field of education for more than 9 years now, both online and offline. So, that is a quick introduction. Now, talking about what are we going to do today. तो बच्चे ये पूरा चैप्टर जो है is basically divided in two topics of Indian monsoon and seasons in India. We'll be doing questions from all of these. So let's get started, starting with the objective type questions. सबसे पहला सवाल है, how does latitude influence climate? So we know our earth has been divided in imaginary horizontal and vertical lines for reference purposes and coordination. Location की coordinates पता करने के लिए, but also these other lines have some other importance and symbolizations as well. उसके साथ साथ उसका और भी इस्तेमाल कुछ चीज़ों में किया जाता है, करेक्ट? तो ये जो लैटिट्यूड्स, जो स्लीपिंग लाइन्स है लाइक इक्वेटर, ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर, ऐसे बहुत सारे लैटिट्यूड्स हैं, वो कैसे इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं क्लाइमेट को, यानी कि बेसिकली लैटिट्यूड के रेफरेंस में क्लाइमेट का डिफरेंस या उसके ऊपर इम्पैक्ट हमें क्या समझ आता है वो बताना है आपको। तो ये आपके ऑप्शंस हैं, बाय डिटरमाइनिंग द एल्टीट्यूड ऑफ अ रीजन, बाय इन्फ्लुएंसिंग द प्रेशर एंड विंड सिस्टम्स, बाय अफेक्टिंग द अमाउंट ऑफ सोलर एनर्जी रिसीव्ड, or by moderating the climate through ocean currents. Let's see. तो हमारे पास है अंजलि बिश, जिसने बिल्कुल सही जवाब दे दिया है परफेक्ट टाइमिंग में। तरुण has also answered absolutely correct. साई तन्मय has taken an attempt. Good job on that. Attempt करते रहना है ना, बिल्कुल। And Dhanush, Drushti and student, I'm waiting for you guys to answer. Yashika, you can also answer in the chat. Okay? Ma'am, in my exam, pastoralist chapter is coming. I'm having so many doubts. Yashika, you'll find a one-shot video present in the recordings. Please, first of all, go and watch that session. Pastoralists को मैंने काफ़ी अच्छे से एक short में पढ़ाया है from examinations perspective. You watch that session and then feel free to contact me anytime, any of the sessions to clarify your doubts. और वैसे अभी कुछ ही दिनों में पैस्टलिस्ट वाला चैप्टर हम शुरू भी करने वाले हैं, तो यू शुड नॉट बी वरीड अबाउट इट, वहाँ पे हम करेंगे कवर। बट अदरवाइज एज आई सेड, आपके लिए वीडियो ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट है, उस वीडियो को एक बार देख लो एंड देन यू कैन डिसाइड कि अभी भी डाउट्स बचे हैं, आंसर हुए हैं, नहीं हुए हैं, एटसेट्रा। ठीक है, ओके। तो कौन कौन से बच्चे हैं यहाँ पे? स्टूडेंट है, अंजलि है, तरुण है। गुड इवनिंग गाइज, आई डिड नॉट से हाई टू यू, सो आई जस्ट वांट टू से क्विकली हाई टू एवरीवन। धनुष का, तन्मय का भी रिप्लाई आ गया है और हमारे दृष्टि ने भी जवाब दे दिया है। द करेक्ट आंसर इज बाय अफेक्टिंग द अमाउंट ऑफ सोलर एनर्जी रिसीव्ड, है ना, उस चीज़ से फर्क पड़ता है। कैसे? देखो, बहुत सिंपल सी चीज़ है, एकदम फटाफट शॉर्ट में समझा देती हूँ। ये हमारा अर्थ है, ठीक है, एंड दिस इज द इक्वेटर। ये हमारा क्या है? दिस इज द इक्वेटर। Now, equator receives equal amount of sun rays throughout the year and direct sun rays. ठीक है, कैसे sun rays आ रहे होते हैं? मान लो sun है यहाँ पे, तो direct sun rays आ रहे होते हैं absolutely straight. But then the rays start getting slanted. वो tilt होने लग जाते हैं, slanted होने लग जाते हैं. So the effect of rays starts decreasing and that is why on the polar region least amount of rays reach and that is why they are the coldest. इसीलिए ये कोल्डेस्ट होते हैं। सिमिलरली ऊपर वाले लैटिट्यूड पे भी आप देखोगे तो सेम असर हमें दिखेगा। ठीक है, तो एज यू गो अवे फ्रॉम द इक्वेटर टुवर्ड्स द पोल, द अमाउंट ऑफ हीट एंड द सन रेज रिसीव्ड स्टार्ट्स रिड्यूसिंग। ठीक है, तो इसीलिए ये ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर वाले रीजन तक ज़्यादा गर्मी होती है, ये वाले रीजन में बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, और धीरे धीरे आपका आर्कटिक सर्कल, एंटार्क्टिक सर्कल की तरफ कम होने लग जाता है। एंड दिस इज हाउ लैटिट्यूड बेसिकली डिटरमाइंस कि कितना अमाउंट ऑफ सन रेज वो रिसीव कर रहा है, उस लैटिट्यूड की पोजीशन से हमें ये पता चलता है, एंड दैट इज हाउ इट इन्फ्लुएंसेस द क्लाइमेट. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ड्यूरिंग द समर सीजन इन इंडिया, which one of the following is a notable feature caused by strong, gusty, hot, dry winds blowing during the day over the north and northwestern regions? वो जो winds गरम गरम से फ्लो करते हैं उनका नाम क्या है? थंडरस्टॉर्म, काल बैसाखी, एडवांसिंग मॉनसून और द लू. एंड साई तन्मय, तरुण, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट आंसर, परफेक्ट टाइमिंग, गुड जॉब. अंजलि और स्टूडेंट ने भी जवाब दिया है सही, बिल्कुल, गुड जॉब यू गाइस. धनुष, दृष्टि, तन्मय, वेटिंग फॉर यू गाइस टू आंसर. गो अहेड एंड आंसर. थंडरस्टॉर्म, काल बैसाखी, एडवांसिंग मॉनसून या फिर लू क्या नाम होता है ये बताना था हमें. हमारे पास धनुष का और दृष्टि का भी जवाब आ गया है. द करेक्ट आंसर इज लू. राइट. तो व्हाट हैपेंस, जो एकदम एक्स्ट्रा आपका लो प्रेशर जोन फॉर्म होता है, द लो प्रेशर बेल्ट दैट गेट्स फॉर्म्ड, वहां पे वेरी वेरी हीट, full of heat, strong, full of dust particles, gusty winds are seen flowing, especially during the daytime, which can even be threatening to the life of a human. ठीक है, वो किसी इंसान के लिए जो है थोड़ा लीथल भी हो सकता है, जान भी ले ले. इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज वेरी गुड. तो इस वाले विंड का नाम क्या होता है? इसका नाम लू होता है, जिससे इनफैक्ट प्री मॉनसून शावर्स हमें जो है मदद करती हैं, काल बैसाखी जैसे हो गई, वो उससे थोड़ी सी रिलीफ दिलाती हैं. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Which one of the following plays a crucial role in determining India's climate by acting as a barrier for cold or hot winds and potentially causing precipitation if it is sufficiently high and in the path of rain-bearing winds? So basically हमारा एक feature है, we have a physical feature which does not let the cold winds of Central Asia enter India. Also, it protects India from losing all of its monsoon winds and escaping from Indian landscape, returns it back to India and causes all the rain. वो कौन सा feature है? Plateaus, ocean, Himalayas या Eastern Ghats? And let's see, I think students have figured it out. Dhanush, Sai, Tanmay, Tarun, Tanmay, wonderful. You guys have answered absolutely correct. Perfect answer, perfect timing. Anjali and student have also answered correctly. हमारे पास दृष्टि और तनुज का रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आया है बच्चे. इट वुड बी द हिमालयाज. हिमालयाज जो है एक बैरियर की, एक नेचुरल बैरियर की तरह एक्ट करते हैं. दे स्टैंड राइट एट द as a natural guard at the northern portion of our landscape, and they do not let the chilly winds of Central Asia enter India. Hence, the cold season, the winter season is not as harsh as that of Central Asia in India. साथ ही साथ हमारे जो मॉनसून विंड्स जाते हैं हिमालयस की तरफ, वो हिमालय से टकरा कर वापस आ जाते हैं, डू नॉट escape and hence result in more amount of rainfall in India. So it is the Himalayas. Next question. Coriolis force is also known as which of the following? Coriolis force का एक दूसरा नाम भी है, वो दूसरा नाम क्या है? Tobler's law, Newton's law, Ferrel's law या Boyle's law? Coriolis force is also known as which of the other names? Tobler's law, Newton's law, Farrell's law, or Boyle's law? And we have started getting the answers. This is a very, very simple question. There's no additional explanation. Anjali and Tarun, very good. Perfect answer, perfect timing. Sai Tanmay, student, good job. Tanuj ने भी लिया है attempt, perfect. Dhanush, Drushti, Tanmay, waiting for you guys to answer. So बच्चे, what is the Coriolis force? So basically we know that the earth keeps on rotating. Earth जो है वो क्या होता है? Rotate करता है on its axis, right? And whenever any kind of movement happens, कभी भी जब किसी तरीके की movement होती है, तो it results in an exertion of a certain kind of force. ठीक है? For example, when you're sitting in a car and the car all of a sudden takes a right, तो हम थोड़ा सा लेफ्ट की तरफ एक्चुअली, मतलब अगर वो जिस भी डायरेक्शन में जा रही है उसके अपोजिट एक अपने आप एपरेंट फोर्स हमारे ऊपर अप्लाई हो जाता है. नोबडी इज पुशिंग अस, नथिंग इज हैपनिंग, बट यू टिल्ट ऑन द अदर डायरेक्शन, फिर आप नॉर्मल हो जाते हो, है ना. ऐसे एक फोर्स अप्लाई होता है बिकॉज ऑफ द मूवमेंट. वैसे ही जब अर्थ रोटेट कर रहा होता है तो एक फोर्स अप्लाई हो रहा होता है, तो जो विंड सर्फेस पे फ्लो करी है, द विंड्स व्हिच आर फ्लोइंग ऑन द सर्फेस, दे चेंज देयर डायरेक्शन. द वंस मूविंग फ्रॉम द सदर्न साइड, सेकेंड, वो ऐसा शिफ्ट कर जाती हैं, और नॉर्दर्न साइड से आने वाली टुवर्ड्स अपने राइट चली जाती हैं, और ये लेफ्ट. तो इस इफेक्ट को हम क्या कहते हैं? कोरियोलिस फोर्स कहते हैं. और अब मैं देख पा रही हूँ कि काफ़ी और बच्चों ने जवाब दे दिया है. अंजलि, दृष्टि, तरुण ने दे दिया है, तन्मय और स्टूडेंट ने दे दिया है, धनुष ने अटेम्प्ट लिया है, तनुष ने अटेम्प्ट लिया है. द करेक्ट आंसर इज फेरेल्स लॉ. ठीक है, सही आंसर हमारा क्या है? फेरेल्स लॉ है. इसका नाम फेरेल्स लॉ भी है. ठीक है, तो द फोर्स बेसिकली पुशेस द विंड टुवर्ड्स द राइट इन द नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर एंड टुवर्ड्स द लेफ्ट इन द सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. महावत इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर कल्टिवेशन ऑफ डैश क्रॉप्स. महावत जो हमारा बारिश होती है वो कौन से क्रॉप के कल्टिवेशन के लिए जरूरी है? एंड तन्मय हैज आंसर्ड एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, परफेक्ट टाइमिंग. धनुष का जवाब आ गया है. अंजलि एंड स्टूडेंट हैव आल्सो आंसर्ड. साई, तन्मय एंड तरुण हैव आल्सो आंसर्ड. दृष्टि, आपने नहीं दिया जवाब अभी तक. तो बच्चे, इट वुड बी रबी क्रॉप्स. ठीक है, महावत जो है आपका थोड़ा विंटर के अराउंड के हो जाता है. रबी क्रॉप्स कौन से होते हैं? So small amount of winter rainfall is known as Mahavat. It is very, very important for the Rabi crops because Rabi crops are basically the winter crops, जिसकी आपकी जो है सोइंग जो है वो अक्टूबर नवंबर में होती है, एंड हार्वेस्ट जो पूरा रेडी हो जाता है, राइपनिंग होती है, वो बाय मार्च हो जाती है. तो उसके बीच में they need a time where they have a warm, clear sky kind of climate, but also have some rainfall for the purpose of ripening and the sufficiency of water requirement to be fulfilled. चलो, अब मैच द फॉलोइंग करना है. द कोल्ड वेदर सीजन, द हॉट वेदर सीजन, एडवांसिंग मानसून एंड रिट्रीटिंग और पोस्ट मानसून. कौन सा किसके साथ जाएगा? हॉट वेदर सीजन किसको कह रहे हैं? कोल्ड वेदर सीजन किसको कह रहे हैं? एडवांसिंग मानसून किसको कह रहे हैं? रिट्रीटिंग मानसून या पोस्ट मानसून किसको कह रहे हैं? तो फीचर्स और सीजन आपको मैच करने. वैसे तो ये सवाल काफी काफी सिंपल है. तरुण, महावत का मतलब समझ आ गया आपको? इट्स काल बैसाखी बट इन विंटर्स। तरुण मतलब हाँ, ऐसे कह सकते हैं, बट काल बैसाखी इज मोर ऑफ अ प्री मॉनसून रेन एंड दिस इज जस्ट विंटर रेनफॉल। सो आप ये कह सकते हो कि जो अनसीजनल थोड़े से अपार्ट फ्रॉम जो मॉनसून के रेनफॉल्स होते हैं, कभी रेनफॉल हुए अगर समर्स में हुए तो उनको प्री मॉनसून शार्स, मैंगो शार्स, काल बैसाखी ये सारे नाम दिए जाते हैं। अदरवाइज विंटर्स में होते हैं तो महावत नाम दिया जाता है, ठीक है। एंड बोथ ऑफ दीज हेल्प द certain crops of those season। तो अंजलि, साई, तन्मय, तरुण, परफेक्ट आंसर, करेक्ट, बिल्कुल परफेक्ट टाइमिंग। तन्मय गुड जॉब, सही जवाब दिया है। हमारे धनुष, दृष्टि और स्टूडेंट ने भी अटेम्प्ट लिया है। बच्चे वैसे तो काफी सिंपल है यार, कोल्ड वेदर विंटर, हॉट वेदर समर, देन यू हैव द एडवांसिंग मानसून। एडवांसिंग मानसून विल बी योर रेनी सीजन। रिट्रीटिंग जो है क्या हो रहा है, रिट्रीट तब हो रहा है व्हेन कोल्ड विंटर इज स्टार्टिंग, मॉनसून इज एंडिंग, सो इट इज अ ट्रांजिशनिंग सीजन, ठीक है। तो ये ट्रांजिशनिंग सीजन हो जाता है। तो आपका कोल्ड वेदर जो है मिड नवंबर में नॉर्थ में स्टार्ट होता है, फेब्रवरी तक जाता है। डेज आर वार्म, नाइट्स आर कोल्ड, विंटर्स इन शॉर्ट। हॉट वेदर अगेन बिकॉज द सन इज नाउ मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द नॉर्थ, हमारा जो है लो प्रेशर क्रिएट होता है, मार्च से मई बहुत पीक पे चलता है एंड राइज हाई टेम्परेचर, लो एयर प्रेशर, लू, हॉट विंड्स, ये सारी चीज़ें एक्सपीरियंस होती हैं। एडवांसिंग मानसून अगेन बाय बिगिनिंग ऑफ जून टू एंड ऑफ जून जो है आप देखोगे पूरा मानसून ऑन सेट हो जाता है इन द एंटायर प्लेस, वेस्टर्न घाट से शुरू करके जहाँ सबसे ज़्यादा हैवी रेनफॉल होती है एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स थ्रू द अदर प्लेसेस ऑफ इंडिया। रिट्रीटिंग इज वेयर इट स्टार्ट्स गोइंग बैक द मानसून विंड्स एंड द विंटर स्लोली स्टार्ट सेटिंग इन। इसको ट्रांजिशनिंग सीजन कहा जाता है, जहाँ पे बारिश आपकी पूरी पूरी खत्म की तरफ आ जाएगी, ठीक है। Okay, next question. The monsoon type of climate is characterized by a distinct seasonal pattern. Is this true or is this false? Which country has a monsoon type of climate? Our own country has a monsoon type of climate, correct? So the question is asking that the monsoon type of climate is characterized by a distinct seasonal pattern. Is this statement true or is this statement false? Anjali, Dhanush, student गिवन द करेक्ट आंसर। तरुण ने भी दे दिया है, बहुत ही बढ़िया बहुत ही बढ़िया। तन्मय ने भी दे दिया है सही जवाब, बिल्कुल सही टाइमिंग में। व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स, कौन बचा? दृष्टि, साई, तन्मय। सोचो जरा, मॉनसून टाइप ऑफ क्लाइमेट जो है वो उसके कुछ स्पेसिफिक सीजनल पैटर्न्स होते हैं जिनके बेसिस पे वो एक डिफरेंट डिस्टिंक्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक बनाती है, उससे हम उन्हें आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं। So this statement is true. This statement is valid for any season, any climate actually. हर एक क्लाइमेट जो है वो ऑफ कोर्स एक सर्टेन पैटर्न देख करके ही आइडेंटिफाई किया जाता है। तो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज एब्सोल्युटली ट्रू। यहाँ पे क्या होगा, वेदर कंडीशंस जो है greatly changed from one season to another. Changes are particularly noticeable in the interior parts of the country and most of it has monsoon season. Next question. Which one of the following best describes the cold weather season in India? बहुत, this is like the easiest question. I'll not give you a lot of time to answer this question. हाँ, बहुत बहुत आसान है। Warm days, warm nights, warm days, cold nights, cold days, cold nights, cold days, warm nights. India में specifically, if you have to talk about the winter season, how would you describe the days to be? Tarun, Rajasthan falls on the leeward side of Aravalli Hills. आपको मैंने ओरोग्राफिक रेन बताया है ना? तो अरावली हिल्स क्यों मॉनसून नहीं पहुंचती है राजस्थान? बिकॉज ऑफ द अरावली हिल्स विच क्रिएट्स ओरोग्राफिक रेन इन दैट रीजन। उसके लीवर्ड साइड पे राजस्थान और गुजरात का थोड़ा पोर्शन फॉल करता है विच रिसीव्स वेरी लेस, ऑलमोस्ट नल अमाउंट ऑफ रेनफॉल, and the other side is windward which receives good amount of rainfall. So that is the reason and हमारे पास जवाब आ गया है। धनुष, स्टूडेंट एंड तन्मय, गुड जॉब, करेक्ट आंसर, परफेक्ट टाइमिंग। अंजलि ने भी सही जवाब दे दिया है, दृष्टि ने भी अटेम्प्ट लिया और बाला सूर्यान ने लिया, साई तन्मय ने लिया, तरुण ने लिया। And I understand where the confusion has happened. You might have selected cold days and cold nights, but guys, India की बात हो रही है। इंडिया में we do have days which are warmer. ठीक है, समझ आया? इज इट क्लियर? हमारा क्या होता है, दिन के टाइम पे हम सनरेज रिसीव करते हैं, गुड अमाउंट ऑफ सनरेज। So even the days in general in the winters of India are not extremely cold, which you will not observe in a lot of other places, Asian countries itself. एशिया के ही कुछ दूसरे देशों को देखोगे तो ऐसा नहीं होगा कि दिन में भी जो है सर्दी नहीं लग रही है, दिन में भी बहुत ठंड लग रही होती है. तो हमारे यहाँ क्या होता है, डेज आर वार्मर बट द नाइट्स, बाय द नाइट इट इज कोल्ड. सो दैट इज हाउ यू एक्सपीरियंस, स्पेशली नॉर्दर्न इंडिया की अगर बात की जाए. साउथ में तो उतना ज़्यादा विंटर एक्सपीरियंस होता भी नहीं है, हमारा जो है मॉडरेट रहता है साउथ में टेम्परेचर. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द वर्ड मॉनसून इज डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम अरेबिक वर्ड मौसम. मौसम का मतलब क्या होता है? द वेरी फर्स्ट सेशन आई टोल्ड यू that the word monsoon comes from the Arabic word mawsim. In fact, they were the ones who even realized that there was a flow of, there was in fact an interchanging motion of the winds that was happening in India, that were entering India. So what is this word known as? What is the exact meaning of this word mawsim? Nature, season, wind or stream. Bala Suryan, bache, most of the things I will be speaking in English. Sometimes I may switch to Hindi, but you don't have to be worried. I will make sure to repeat it in English, okay? Hi, Lokendra Singh Rathor. Good evening. Rain can come through Gujarat, right? Tarun, that's the flow. It can come from anywhere. But the point is, because of the low pressure being created, where is it coming from? The direction goes from the windward side of your western ghats, and the moment western ghats get over, it enters the center. ठीक है, ऐसे करके center में enter करता है. You'll have to open the map to see it, and you will see western ghats and Aravalli hills has a certain gap between it. That is where the winds will enter, and because of the Aravalli hills, they will not be able to reach Rajasthan. ठीक है, चलो आप देख लेते हैं जवाब. Who has answered? Anjali, Sai Tanmay, student Tarun have answered and answered it correctly. Dhanush and Tanmay have taken an attempt. Bala Suryan and Drushti have taken an attempt, and it seems everyone got confused. But it is season. Mausim, Arabic word, basically stands for season. Okay? And it was the Arabic traders who figured out that when you enter into India, in different seasons, the wind is blowing in different directions. Because when they were trying to enter their ships, sometimes it would be against the wind, and sometimes the wind would be totally supporting them, and it would be much easier for them to move towards the mainland of India. That's when they realized that in different seasons, the winds are flowing in different directions, either away from the land or towards the land in India, and that is how we understand the reversal of winds. Okay? Chalo, now we'll talk about any three characteristics of monsoon. What are, can you name any three characteristics of monsoon? Think about it. How can you possibly describe monsoon? What are the three characteristics, three features that monsoon has? Lokendra, do you know what are the features of monsoon? Yashika, any idea? Saitan, my student. Bala Suryan, Tarun, Drushti. Think about it. And guys, this is a question which has been asked multiple times, okay? It's a question which is seen repeating in the sample papers and other places of CBSE multiple times, 2011, 2012, 2014. That's quite a number of times. You guys will have to type the answer. There's no selecting anymore, right? अब MCQs खत्म हो चुके हैं हमारे. आपको type करना होगा answer. Hi Punit, good evening. Guys, three characteristics of monsoon. Abhi to one we were discussing what the Arabs discovered for us. What was that? Temperature changes. Okay, chalo theek hai. Maybe temperature changes. What else? Reversal of winds. Rainy climate with high humidity. Supports agriculture and reduces temperature. Wonderful. Okay? It definitely gives us relief from the hot summer. So monsoons are pulsating in nature. We know they are not constant. Plus also, India, if you look, monsoons are pulsating in terms of what? A lot of rain will happen. Then the axis shifts and it takes a certain time amount of break. Then again it will be back. Right? These are affected by the different atmospheric conditions prevailing in the region. The duration of monsoon is between 100 to 120 days. You can write anything, you guys. You can write that it happens because of the reversal of the winds. You can write it happens because of the different pressures. All of these are the characteristics of the monsoon. ये सारे जो हैं characteristics है monsoon के. Next question. Explain the development of the monsoon through and its influence overall rainfall distribution. CBSE 2014 का question है. Think about it. I'll give you some time in fact to think about it. We are talking about the monsoon. What is the monsoon trough? How does it influence the rainfall, the whole flow of it? What is the monsoon trough? Guys, right now, hi Gamer G, hi Dinesh, good evening. If you remember, just in the previous question, we said that in India, monsoon has a pulsating effect. What do you mean by pulse? Pulse kaise jata hai? It goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, it goes down, right? It's like a sine wave that you would have also not done, and even I'm not very sure if that's how the graph goes. But that's how the graph of life goes. It goes up and down, up and down. That's how pulse also is seen, right? And that's how the whole monsoon in India also happens. It happens with certain breaks. That is what we were supposed to explain. That happens because of the monsoon axis that gets created. Wherever that axis will shift, the monsoon will be happening over there. So as the monsoon trough increases, the low pressure region over Ganga plain increases more. Or rain, the sea carry moisture, can reach India, increase the amount of rainfall. Okay, correct hai, theek hai. So what we see is that it is a region of low atmospheric pressure. When you're saying trough, what do you mean by the term trough? Trough का मतलब ही होता है, the meaning of the very term trough is a depression, ठीक है, or depth, or a basin, which means something which goes like this. So what will go like this? A low pressure zone. Only then it will form a trough. Okay? So it is a region of low atmospheric pressure. The pressure is low, which develops because of excessive heat. So there will be a lot of heat. It will create a gap. It will create a basin, a trough. It brings a remarkable change in the rainfall pattern. How will it bring a very remarkable change? How is the rainfall happening? We have understood in the simplest form that if this is a surface which is heated, then naturally the air will also get heated. Okay? Air and surface, surface will heat. It will ultimately heat up the air. Then the air will start rising up because जो heated air होता है, the heated air is light in weight. Because it is light in weight, it will start rising up now. Because there is less amount of air over here, most of it is heated up and has gone up. This will become a low pressure zone. ये क्या बन जाएगा? It will become a low pressure zone. Okay. Now this low pressure zone, when it's being created, naturally what will happen, that air will come gushing from the high pressure zone. Because it's not just air, anything always moves from high pressure towards low pressure. Because guys, if the low pressure keeps on getting created over here, at one point it will be vacuum. No air will be left. So from somewhere which is like a cold region, वहाँ से high pressure होगा because cold air is heavy. It is exerting more force. There is more pressure over there. From there, the air will come rushing towards the low pressure zone. If you talk about India में, okay, this portion becomes a low pressure zone because of excessive heating over here. Then this entire thing which is sea, over here, Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, they are not as much heated. So lot of wind gets all of this is high pressure zone. So lot of wind basically gets moving in this direction towards the low pressure zone. And ये zone क्या है अभी? This zone is basically this trough. So it brings remarkable change in the rainfall pattern. It is also responsible for the dry and wet spells of monsoon. So this trough keeps on moving, right? Wherever there is more heat, that is where the low pressure zone will get created, and that is where the depth or the trough will move, and then these winds will start traveling towards that trough and go and cause the rainfall there. तो जहाँ पे भी बारिश हो रही है वहाँ पे जो है wherever it's raining more, the temperature will revive, it will basically reduce a little, it will not be as hot. Then somewhere else it will get created, the low pressure zone. So the winds will now start moving there in that direction and cause more rainfall over there. Okay? Next question. Monsoon acts as a unifying bond. Explain. This is basically the last section of our chapter. Very easy. How is monsoon acting as a unifying bond? How does it help a country like India, which is so diverse, so different, so many different regions, so many physical features, but it unites everyone together, brings everyone together and is like the tying knot. How is that happening? Hi Aman, what is your doubt? Please go ahead and ask. Monsoon acts as a unifying bond. How does it act as a unifying bond? You guys explain. Okay, there's like a long answer that I have received, so I'm going to try and read a bit of it. Climate क्या है बच्चे? एक बड़े region पे when you look at the various seasonal patterns for on over a big area for a large amount of time, then you find the characteristics, you identify the pattern, and then you say, okay, on an average, this is how the seasons are usually for this place. The term that we have given to that is climate. ठीक है gamer जी? Okay. Rainfall is experienced, this monsoon binds the whole country because of agricultural activities in motion, creating a sense of unity in the country. So yeah, India especially, right, because a huge chunk of our population is based on agriculture, is employed in that season. So the seasonal alteration of the wind system and the associated weather conditions provide a rhythmic cycle of seasons. Even the uncertainties of rain and uneven distribution are typical features of the monsoons. The Indian landscape is its animal and plant life, its entire agricultural calendar, the life of the people, festivals, most importantly, kya hai bache, in our country, the agricultural calendar, the life of the farmers, which is most of the population, festivals, right? All of this revolves around the phenomenon of how the weather changes are happening. Plus, of course, it is relieving from those extreme heat. Take a, year after year, people of India from north to south and east to west eagerly wait for the arrival of the monsoon. These monsoon winds bind the whole country by providing water to set agricultural activities in motion, and the river valleys which carry this water also unite as a single river valley unit. Okay? Next question. India has diverse climatic conditions. Support this statement by giving examples each of temperature and precipitation. I think this question is pretty easy to answer. So we'll just have, I'll wait for few seconds so that you guys can think about it. Okay, India has diverse climatic conditions. We know that, right? There are places where on the same day, in Jammu and Kashmir, the temperature might be reaching 0 degrees, 2 degrees, or maybe going in negative. Whereas at the same time at Kanyakumari, it is 30 degrees, 32 degrees. North experiences extreme winters in some places and moderate winters in some places, whereas the southern peninsular region experiences no winters at all and mostly has a moderate climate. So we are very, very diverse. Rainfall ki baat ki jaye, so there are places where there's a lot of rainfall. We have places like Cherrapunji and Mawzunram which receives maximum rainfall in the entire world on an average, which is around 400 centimeter. At the same time, we have places like Ladakh and Rajasthan which does not receive even 15 centimeter of annual rainfall. So India is a very, very diverse nation, plus the different seasons that we have. We can talk about the winters, we can talk about the summers, we can talk about your monsoon and the transition season, and all of this will be there. Absolutely. I think you have written the same thing. So mercury occasionally touches 50 degrees in the western deserts and drops to as low as minus 45 degrees in winter around Leh. The annual precipitation is less than 10 centimeter in the northwest Himalayas and the western desert. However, exceeds 400 centimeter in Meghalaya, making it one of the most, one of the places which receives maximum rainfall around the world. Most parts of the country receive rainfall from June to September, but some parts like Tamil Nadu coast get most of its rain during October and November. We experience something called Lu, but we also experience something called October heat. Okay? We experience something called pre-monsoon showers, mango showers, or Kal Baisakhi during the summers, but we also receive we also receive Mahavat during the winters. There are like a lot of things that we are experiencing. Okay? Okay, what is October heat? Right now, I just now I took the name of October heat, and here is the question. What do you mean by the term October heat? October heat का मतलब क्या होता है बच्चे? ये बताना है हमें. जल्दी जल्दी से बता दो. What do you mean by October heat, you guys? तरुण सह्याद्रीज जो है वेस्टर्न घाट्स को कहते हैं. वेस्टर्न घाट्स माउंटेन रेंज इज ऑल्सो नोन एज सह्याद्रीज. So it will always refer to that. Okay? Tarun, yeah, please feel free to ask your doubt. Okay. You guys have, so basically during the transition season when the clouds go away and the winters are supposed to onset, in there's a patch of 2 weeks or 3 weeks where all of a sudden the sun shines bright and the temperature goes up during the daytime, however, not during the evening necessarily. And it feels like the summers are kind of back because of the rise in the temperature. This is known as October heat. The month of October and November, they are the transition period from hot rainy season to dry winter conditions. Retreat of monsoon is marked by clear skies and rise in temperature. Land is moist, but owing to the condition of high temperature and humidity, the weather becomes rather oppressive, especially during the daytime. This time is known as October heat. इस time को हम October heat कहते हैं. चलिए अब इसी बात पे कर लेते हैं एक दूसरा. Now we have 5 mark का question. What are the variations in precipitation in India? So we've kind of discussed this when we were talking about the variation and diversity in the climate conditions that we see over here, the weather conditions that we see over here. Okay, Gamerji, you're right that it is the name of the weather given. But when it is asked to you that what is October heat, you will also have to explain what it is depending upon the marks. ये 3 mark का question था, तो we'll have to give 2-3 pointers as a detail. Okay, guys, what are the variations in precipitation in India? So here you will talk about how Western Ghats, Mawsynram, some areas in Meghalaya experience so much of rainfall. You will talk about how Leh and Rajasthan receives no amount of rainfall. You will talk about how the amount of rainfall varies in terms of decreases from east to west towards the Gangetic plain. You will talk about how there is another side of Western Ghats, which is the central portion of the Deccan Plateau, which because of the orographic rains caused by the Western Ghats comes on the leeward side and is almost dry or receives very, very less amount of rain. You will also talk about how Tamil Nadu is one place which receives rainfall during the winters and is known as November rains. ये सब कुछ जो है हम define करेंगे और बात करेंगे under this 5 mark question. It's a 5 mark question. So we'll pick different patches one at a time. We'll talk about Western Ghats, we'll talk about Rajasthan and Leh, we'll talk about the northeastern portion, we'll talk about the variation that comes around the Gangetic plain, the northern plain, and then we'll talk about the Deccan Plateau, the rain shadow that is caused because of the Western Ghats, and that will kind of combine 5 marks for you. And introduction mein you can write that how rainfall received. However, India is a monsoon climatic type of nation, but the amount of rainfall received throughout is not the same. It ranges anywhere between 400 centimeter to 10 centimeter annual amount of rainfall. ऐसा करके we will do the introduction. So there are variations not in the forms but types of precipitation also. So it's not just the amount, right? But it's also that some places are receiving snowfall, but some places are receiving rainfall. Okay? But also in the amount and the seasonal distribution. Most of the country receives moderate rainfall. Snowfall is restricted to Himalayan regions. Other places are receiving rainfall only usual, right? Hi, Badal. The annual precipitation varies anywhere from 400 to in Meghalaya to 10 centimeter in Ladakh and western Rajasthan. Owing to the nature of monsoon, the annual rainfall is highly variable year to year. Variability is high in the regions of low rainfall like parts of Rajasthan, Gujarat and the leeward side of Western Ghats. Most parts of the country receive rainfall from June to September, but some parts like Tamil Nadu coast get the most of its rain during October and November, addressed as November rains. So this pretty much talks about everything, but also mention Western Ghats receive most amount of rainfall, whereas यहाँ पे you can form the connection that there is a portion which basically has the leeward side. ठीक है, Aravalli Hills, some of is responsible for causing the orographic rain. Drishti कहाँ चल दी है? One last question is left. If you can wait for 5 minutes, I would very strongly recommend you to, because this is the last question of the session. So let's quickly do the last question, right? Mahendra, describe the effect of western cyclonic disturbances on the Indian climate. So guys, western cyclonic disturbances which enters India during the winter portion, what is the effect that it has? You can explain the name, you can explain the area it affects, you can explain the impact that it has, how it benefits some places but mostly causes disturbances. Think about it, at least think of 2-3 points that you can write, and then we will discuss the answer. It is a, uh, okay, there was a long message I couldn't read. I'll read it again. The western cyclonic disturbances that arise in the Mediterranean cause moist winds to enter India via the western jet stream in the northern parts. This moist winds then cause a downpour in the northern plains of India, Himalayas also, and they are blocked by Himalayas. Okay. Nahi Tanmay, western cyclonic disturbances and the southwest monsoon winds are different, बच्चे. ठीक है? Okay. Eastern Ghats, Gamer Ji, I have taught in the chapter of physical features of India. Please do read that. It's a range of small hills that we have on the eastern side. Okay, that's referred to as Eastern Ghats. So the western cyclonic disturbances is basically a phenomenon. It's something that happens periodically every year because of the movements and the change in the movements of the pressure and the winds. Okay? Of winter months, it is brought by the westerly flow, or as you said, the jet streams that flow from the western side. That is happening in the Mediterranean Sea. You have answered absolutely correct on the Mediterranean part. They affect the climate of India in the following ways. They cause cyclonic rainfall in the month of winter, which is otherwise dry. The region of western cyclonic disturbance influence the weather of north and northwestern India. So Rajasthan, Himalayas, a bit of Himachal. These low pressure systems originate over the Mediterranean Sea and Western Asia and move into India along with the easterly flows. They cause the much needed winter rainfalls over the plains and snowfall in the mountains. However, the total amount of winter rainfall locally known as Mahavat is small but useful for Rabi crops. These winds are called western cyclonic disturbances since they come from the western part of India. But in some regions, they also lead to extra downpour which may result in floods and cause havoc or disturbance or floods. So the word disturbance comes from there as well. Now, bacho, with this, we have finished the session today. We have practiced the important questions of the chapter of climate. Now, talking about what's going to come from next week onwards. So, please make sure that you go on the Imbibe app or basically your website of the Imbibe, whatever is feasible for you. And you can see the sessions lined up like this. Just make sure you click on register now and get yourself registered. This is the class which was going right now, but you will be able to see the upcoming classes as well. So I'm starting with the chapter of population. ठीक है, population से शुरू कर रही हूँ मैं पढ़ाना, and then population का all the sessions, population growth and changes in population, all of this, and in fact sessions by other teachers like quiz on sound, bee varieties used in beekeeping. ठीक है, adolescent population and NPP. What is the NPP? What is the NP policy? What are the important questions from population that are usually asked? Please make sure that you are registered for each of these, because if you do not register yourself, you will end up missing on the session, on the notification of the session, and that will not be good for you, because population ka chapter bache was not in our syllabus for a while now, and it may create some confusion around that. So please make sure you're registered like that. And do not forget to check out the Imbibe Lens app. Imbibe Lens app को check out कर लेना है, and do join us on the Telegram channel. ठीक है, ये QR code है, ये link है. This is a place where we directly connect with you and will be more active on Telegram in the upcoming days. So just make sure that you are there. So I'll see you guys soon. Today we're going to wind up. Thank you so much for being here. Monday से शुरू कर रहे हैं population. So I'll be expecting you guys to be there at sharp 6 in the same place, same time. And students watching on the YouTube, if you like this session, do not forget to hit the like button, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. And do tell me in the comment section if you have any concerns, feedback, any requirement that any session requirement, or how did you like this session. And I'll see you guys soon. Tarun, I missed your question. Can you write your question again? You'll have to write your question again, Tarun. Happy weekend to you too. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you on Monday. Till the next time, take good care of yourself, your loved ones. Hasta la vista, bye-bye, ciao. Have a great evening, good night. Stay tuned and keep imbibing.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.